Good morning world, it's my time about 10:42 a.m. Right now I have to state, maybe declare about the world emergency announcement, because right now take a look at our earth magnetic shield. We are under attack again, but this energy not come from the sun, not come from the solar wind, or not come from the CME that exploded about 3 days ago. Look at the wind speed right here. It stayed about 560 something, right? But if you close look at the color of the solar wind come from the sun, this color not really red or dark red at all, about orange and dark yellow. And the same thing, look at above, you can say that it's not really red, about yellow and orange. But the wind that come to attack Earth magnetic shield is not come from the sun, but beside the sun. Right now, Earth magnetic at the North Pole and South Pole are changing and moving almost not a cycle, look like the wave shape. You can see that it's go up and bends to the front, something like this. This is the sun, earth and sun right now in this position, the online real time. The strong wind that come to hit the earth come from this way. The strong wind not from the sun as usual. The orange come from the sun, but this wind is strong enough to make the earth magnetic field at the north and south are shaking or dancing a lot, especially at the North Pole. And this one come close to the earth, and about in the next 3 days, the strong wind or strong magnetic wave or strong gravity from this direction will continue to hit earth at least for 3 days. Therefore, you have to prepare for everything. Look at the satellite. Sunspot 2755 are going to calm down or not release anything. Right now, is so bright but not strong enough to release CME. The CME that impact Earth, as I told you, not come from the sun, our sun. You can see that the density of the proton. Right now, solar wind is coming up. Look at the density that comes from the sun. It's very quiet, not a lot. even the pressure that come from this way, from left to right, the sun should be around here and send the solar wind from this direction. But you can see that the pressure happening around the earth, but not in the front, beside and in the back. Most of all about before drawn. Look at the tail, the same thing. This one not directly come from the sun, come from the other side because it's only one direction. So during these 3 days, we will have a huge energy to fulfill our earth core and magma. Of course, the earth have to release the stress or the pressure inside the earth core and magma, and we should get the big earthquake or a lot of volcanic eruption around the world. Yesterday, gamma rays start to pour to earth with a huge amount and strong, and today, January 6, it still keep going. Huge amount of the gamma ray, and the same as cosmic ray that bombard to earth. About the big one, 3 of them, caused many earthquakes yesterday and today, and the day before yesterday. If you turn on the alarm from the earthquake application, you should hear the announcement and the report every hours. Right now, Earth magnetic field around the world are moving, not only at the North Pole and the South Pole. Look at the right shadow around this area. If you climbing up since yesterday, take a look. Can see that Atlantic Pacific now come from to Pacific area. It's so fast, it's quickly, but it fulfill enough about the volcanic around here, even the tectonic plate around here. It should increase the volcanic activity, especially undersea strong energy that not come from the sun. The sun should be right here. You can see that the color not good at all. Double layers in the back, 1, 2, 3, 4. Huge amount of the energy of plasma and proton, and about 0400 universal time. Earth magnetic at the North Pole and South Pole look like it disappear for a while. It happened like this almost 6 months, and it should keep continuous disappear for a while like this until we got the pole shift, North Pole and South Pole. Human resonance about the Earth's frequency is not really moving, not really shaking, calm down, so quiet during this time. It's still the same thing, it's not good. When it calm down below 7.8, it means our frequency in our cell, in our organics, in our organs, in our body have been affected from the low frequency, from the earth frequency, and from the high radio frequency from the sun and from the space. Checking westward a lot. As I recall right now, the North Pole, North magnetic pole moving about 40 kilometers per year, but as on my retrieve the data from satellite, it should be faster than that, but they just not release the fact to the people. And the same thing, the big hole of ozone allow more energy come down to the earth. It means cold weather at the North Pole spread down from 90 degrees to 80, 70 and 60. So a lot of vortex will occur, especially in Greenland and Scandinavia and Europe, including some part of Russia. Sulfur dioxide have a lot right here nearby the South America. You can see that Antarctica and South America around this area, and this in about western of Africa and Central Africa. So surprise, this is Antarctica. Why we got the huge amount of sulfur dioxide? This one should be smoke from Australia, but this area they are not fry at all. But why they have more sulfur dioxide in the Pacific Ocean? No factory, no cars, no any machine, but still have a lot. The area of sulfur dioxide that produced by human, by the factory, by the power plant around the world. Nothing in the sea. You can see that. Jet stream come down almost below than 20 degrees north and create so many storm and severe weather. Strong wind at stratosphere. And the same thing about the sulfur dioxide and the dust. The dust have so plenty of the dust around the world. In China, in India, in Far East Asia, in Middle East, some in Europe, and some in the Canada and East Coast of America is severe. The same thing, sulfur dioxide in the stratosphere at the Persian Gulf, Indian Ocean, and some in the Bengal, the Gulf of Bengal, and same thing Indian Ocean. Carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, plenty in China. This one up on Himalaya, there are not factory at all in this area, but still have the some carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. The same in the middle of Africa, in Crimea. What that is mean? It mean there are some crack in that area. Why we have a big crack in the China? Don't forget that China has built the biggest dam in the world, okay, that can carry the plenty of billion of water. 1 liter of the water is equal to 1 kilogram. So it's a trillion of the water. It's so heavy. So Earth crust or Earth surface carry a huge amount of the water. So of course the heavy water put down to the Earth crack. It means some gas, sulfur dioxide, even methane, even nitrous oxide can come up from the Earth crust between Earth and magma. And the same, this is the dust. This dust to the sea, we can imagine that some of them come from Africa by the wind, but it's so strong in the Atlantic Ocean. It's unusual. India at Himalaya, at the Gulf of Persia or Indian Ocean, at the north of China and Russia, and at the New South Wales of Australia. This one got to fire, right? The big one, the bushfire is so huge, so definitely it's okay. But at the Himalaya, at the northern of China, Africa, even some nearby the Mediterranean, why there are so many dust out there? The same thing, earth crack allow the dust come up. This one should be nitrous oxide. Yes, the same thing, nitrous oxide in those areas in Europe too. Few factory, okay, few car, few emission, but still have the strong nitrous oxide. It one should be sulfur dioxide, the same area. East coast of the state. It should be about temperature, sea temperature, okay. And the sea temperature, please take a close look. The sea temperature at Indian Ocean is higher than in Atlantic or even the Pacific. Only this area, at the middle of, on the west of the Pacific Ocean, from this area start to get the unusual high sea temperature through Papua New Guinea, Australia, Philippines, Indonesia, and come to the Indian Ocean on the east side at the Bengal and on the west side at the Persian. It's unusual. This one should be the temperature, the heat wave. The heat in Australia is okay because right now they are the summer in the South Hampshire, but at the north too. And in my country too, a huge columns in this area. It's about 31st degree. It's so hot. What does it mean? It means some movement from underground. I say the magma have moved around this area to create the earth magnetic field. So this is the hot area in Thailand should be come from the movement of the magma from north to south, but in the Australian, because of the earth bring the South Hampshire to the sun, and because of the, you can say that the anomaly about the crazy weather, cold and hot. So as Ben always say that eye open, be safe everyone. You have to realize the fact that right now we are under attack from the space, and earth have to kill themselves by adjust something, and one of them is to decrease the population of the human. The new asteroid 2020 AP1 close approach, but the same thing is still very far from us. The dust from the asteroid come down to earth and create so many diseases. As my colleague on way say that right now there are many diseases, the new one that no drug to cure those diseases at all. The way sunrise and sunset, and the way you can take a look at that earth, it wobble. Sunlight come from this area. You can see that is the sun, and the sun move, curve down and set in this direction. It means earth wobble. Earthquake should be increased within 3 days. Today and tomorrow should be quiet, not much. And sorry, seawater temperature and seawater movement today, not any report at all. But yesterday got some unusual nearby Alaska that the seawater dropped down more than 28 meters in a few minutes. And one thing about the FEMA camp, about the conspiracy theory, what happened? This is the coffin, right, that we found so many years ago, almost 2009 now, 2009, then almost 11 years. At that time, we found that FEMA had bought or prepared the coffin about 2 million. This size only 500,000. But as we made the research in many camps and we put it together, the one that we saw, not the whole camp, the camp that we saw this plastic coffin, we saw it about 2 million, approximately, minimum 2 million. And one coffin can contain up to 4 bodies of American people. Why they have to prepare this coffin for what? Because when the mega disaster happened, the disease will spread around the world. People have to get sick and die, the same as the movie The Walking Dead. And we could not burn those dead body. If we burn it, the disease will spread through the air. The disease will be airborne and will spread around the world. You have to watch the movie about the large ship. It's a good movie too. Let's take a look at this short video clip.
Not too long ago, I talked with Dale Bohannon, whom I've known since, I guess, the mid-1980s. And he told me something very interesting that he found back in the fall of 2000 while he was on a business trip. Listen to this, folks.
I was pulled to the side road, which was a new cut gravel dirt road in front of a business, a builder supply business, actually Top Notch Builder Supply in Madison, Georgia. To my right, this was previously was a soybean field, and this little new cut road divided this field, and the right side of the road was filled with which I thought was portable toilets. I never looked at them that close. Same in color, maybe black, but which was an odd color. And I was sitting there going over my notes, and a van pulled alongside of me that turned out to be the property owner. And he greeted me, and he was by himself, and so we had a good little dialogue there, and I asked him about the field of black boxes. What were they? Because I'd never seen anything like that, and his statement was that if he told me, I would be one of few people in Madison, Georgia that knew about them. And he says they're disposable coffins, I believe he told me. And he says there's 100 at that time. He said there was 125,000 there, and they were stacked. He told me 15 high. I asked him who owned them, and he stated that the CDC owned them, and that they were leasing his land for storage. And he said his brother worked with the CDC in Atlanta and had been asked by the CDC to do a 3-year extension to place temporary morgues all across the nation.
So in January of this year, 2005, we decided to drive to beautiful Madison, Georgia and take a look for ourselves. It was on a Sunday and no one was around, with the exception of this one pickup truck that was coming out the narrow road that we were going in on next to this field. We flagged down the pickup truck, and it was providential that the driver of this pickup truck turned out to be the son of the man that owned this field. So naturally, we started asking him questions. And he told us that not long ago, there had been as many as 500,000 of these grave liners or disposable coffins. We asked him for permission if we could look around, and he said yes. So we did.
We're just getting an idea for the size of these boxes. What could these boxes be used for? Well, they're called casket liners. And that's an interesting term, isn't it? It's a casket liner. When I first heard the term casket liner, I thought perhaps a lining for a casket. But this is too big to be on the inside of a casket. So certainly this could be used as a casket. This is an inexpensive casket. And you can see the size here. There's lots of room. I think my friends here, we could all probably get inside. It might be a little cozy, but we'd fit just fine. Which tells me that these liners can be used for more than just one. And one more time, what kind of liners are these?
Casket liners.
These are casket liners.
That's what the man said.
That's what the man told us. And we're told that there are about, well, there were about 500,000 out here.
Later, as I went back to my home office, I spoke of it there, and of course people usually don't want to hear too much about this kind of thing. So it's never been mentioned, publicly, except just here and there.
It should be enough, right? As I say,
Because most,
this one
like I
on
said,
this film should be taken about 20 or 4 or 05. It's almost about 15 years ago, right? That's why I believe that the number of those plastic coffins should be more than 5 million now, because there are about 400 million American people, and maybe about 500 million at the North American continental. Therefore, those plastic coffins can contain up to at least 100 million people right now. They have to protect about the disease from the airborne. And today, so many people that spread the news about the pneumonia that spread out at the China. The fact this kind of disease has spread through the world since last June. Australia, Germany, France, Italy, even in the Americans, but they just keep quiet. They don't talk much about those diseases. And right now, many people pay attention to the conflict between Iran and USA. And the same thing, for my own opinion, I believe that this kind of tension that they are created by some Zionists or New World Order or Illuminati or whatever you say. Strong earthquake. I believe that they want to make the conflict around the world to cover the mega disaster. As you know that they produce a sun simulator by Germany, right? And they operate those sun simulator between 9 a.m. to 3 to 4 p.m. Therefore, we could not really see something that beside our sun at all. If we don't have this kind of report, we will never realize that the energy that come to hit our Earth atmosphere, Earth magnetic field, are not come from our sun. That's why many people believe in the Nemesis, in the Nibiru. I am not trying to prove that Nibiru or Nemesis are close to the Earth, because we could not have enough evidence. But the fact that those energy that come from many directions besides the sun, it come from the same direction as the solar system X approach to close our Earth. Therefore, as on NASA prediction on 2004, the huge event should occur in the period of 2019. It means from June 2019 through June 2020, and this year should be the first year of the Earth mega disaster, and Earth going to flip or pole shift within this year or not later than 3 years. It should be before 2023. Right now, as you say that the Van Allen belt, the Earth magnetic shield, what bends close to the Earth, up and down, up and down. It means our atmosphere beside this area should be squeezed and released, squeezed and released. Aurora at the North Pole, at the Arctic area, is not good. When they saw the aurora nearby Norway, it's not good at all. It should not occur at about 62 or 65 something. It means more energy poured down to the Earth. And the same thing, thermosphere climate index, even now it's going up from 265 to 275, but it's still very low and close to the Earth. Atmosphere so cold, right? So cold. That's why if you make the measurement about the evaluation about how high it is right now, in my outfit it should be about 555 meters above the sea level, but right now only 498. I lost about 57 meters. The cause come from this phenomena. I think it should be enough for today. And as Ben Davidson said that, okay, eye open and be safe everyone. I still take a look to our sun and the electric that come from the space through our Earth. Don't forget your life-saving bag for each member in your family. Eye open, be safe everyone. Your God always with you.